All right, boys. This is it. The time is now. We're starving for a podcast. Someone that can save us. And in the time where we needed them most, during quarantine, Hippo TV and Crazy Carl are nowhere to be found. They're the pod guys. Where are you? But it's okay. Because I'm here to, give us the power rankings that we deserve. And I'm here to give you my thoughts and opinions because obviously I'm an expert. And we all are. And we all think we are. But we're going to go in, dissect some trades. We're going to, look at maybe some pre-draft rankings that I've concocted for us all. And just disclaimer. This is all lighthearted fun. Maybe I hate most of you, but that's okay. All right, so we have my green notebook here. And this green notebook that I'm holding in my hands holds all the information for this league. So if anyone got their hands on this, they would be winning this shit soon. But, we're going to keep that suspense going here. So we're going to start from the back. Always like to hit it from the back. So we're going to jump right into some power rankings. We have a little bit of mailbag. We've got just some general thoughts that I have about the league and where the league is headed. But we're going to start right in with the number 12 team. They may be last and they're certainly least. So let's take a look. Who's it going to be? Oh, you guessed right. It is Theo Jeans. So why you say is Theo Jeans the number 12, the last team on my rankings? Well, number one, Jameis Winston is his best quarterback. Who's the second best? It's Gardner Minshew. So you can't convince me that both of these guys will have a job this upcoming season if we do have an upcoming season, thanks COVID-19. There are some bright spots on the team. We've got Dalvin Cook. We've got Amari Cooper and Dallas Goedert. Personally, I think Odell is on the downtrend. I think he's going to be closer to the receiver that we saw this year rather than one-handed snag, top 3 receiver in the league, Hall of Fame bound Odell Beckham Jr. And man, you got Justin Watson on the starting lineup here. I know you made the playoffs, but I don't think you're going to make it again. I'm not sure that the future's exactly bright. You got Kerryon Johnson, who obviously can't handle a workload for himself. However, I think he's a very talented player, and I think he could be a RB2. But yeah, hopefully you can turn these picks into something special because you might need that one. But could be worse or not because you are last. But let's go right into number 11. So number 11, I think there is a little bit of more light at the end of the tunnel. So I hate to do this to you, Hippo. I love you, but I put you at number 11. And that's because I'm not buying into the Miles Sanders hype. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a QB2, like a rank 15 type of guy. Kind of around where he was this year. You got Keenan Allen. What's he going to do without Phillip Rivers? We don't know. Dwayne Haskins, not looking good for Haskins. Hopefully a bounce back. I actually do like Daniel Jones, so that's good. Maybe you get guys like JJ Arcega-Whiteside. I like Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry's a beast. Hopefully a guy like Anthony McFarland can show up for you. But I do really have faith in your ability to draft, Devy talent, and you've got the picks to turn that around. So I don't think you're in such a hellhole like maybe other teams, but for sure I'm just not loving the team, which don't worry. I'm going to go in on my own team as well. So, no need to feel attacked by that. So up next, we actually have myself. And, I've got Kirk Cousins, who's going to be kind of in that Jimmy Garoppolo tier where I don't feel great about having Kirk Cousins. He's literally QB 15. He's okay. He gets the job done. He'll have some games where, God, look, don't love him, but he'll have games where he's 28, 29 points. He's also going to have 11-point games, but fine. He's a guy that I can have for some stability, so I like that. I really like Josh Jacobs. I think he's an RB1. Um, one thing that I've noticed is everyone in this league hates James Conner. They hate Brandon Cooks, and they hate Marlon Mack. They might as well be out of the league. So, I'm going to have to hold on to these guys. Their trade value right now is rock bottom. I completely understand why. But I'm really hoping on a turnaround from James Conner, mainly. Because I think he is the type of guy where he can take it back. He's a 3-down guy. He can do it all. He's not the flashiest guy, but I don't think that's exactly what the Steelers are looking for. So hopefully he can get some line help and be out there. But God, last year was bad for him. Hopefully we get that turned around. Brandon Cooks, I think he's ass. I really do. Hopefully he can turn around, but I don't think he's going to. I really need him to get traded. Devontae Parker had his first good year out of like 5. But if he keeps it up, I mean, damn, he looked pretty freaking good. I just traded for Mostert. The hope for Mostert is he can be a flex guy. Tyrell Williams, I think, is a solid flex guy. Marlon Mack, I think Marlon Mack's fine. I don't think the Colts are really looking to upgrade at running back. So for this season, at least, I think Marlon Mack's going to be okay. But one thing I actually do like, and it's not so much that I have depth that's good now, but I've got depth that I think can be good this year. In the future, like I think Hayden Hurst could be great. I think N'Keal Harry can be better. I think Marquise Brown, I see there's like a realistic possibility where Marquise Brown is a wide receiver 1. That's if he can stay healthy, and I mean that offense is just explosive. That's my only basis on that. So he's also got game-breaking speed. That's all. I'm praying Corey Davis can be a flex guy. I don't have too much faith in someone like Tajay Sharp, but maybe he can be a flex guy. I think Boston Scott can be a flex. I mean, I got a bench full of potential flex guys that maybe have a little bit more upside, but one thing I'm really looking forward to is the Justin Fields, the Najee Harris, the Kylan Hill, and obviously this 101's going to Joe Burrow. So right now it's not looking great, but I need some things to start going my way. After me, we're gonna have UF Gator fan, the newbie. He inherited this team, and honestly, he asked me. That's in the mailbag. We'll save that for mailbag section. We'll look back at it, but I do have Gator here at number 8. So the reason I have him at number 8 is I love DeAndre Swift. I love Chris Godwin. I think Chris Godwin is the dude to have in dynasty formats. I think A.J. Brown's the guy to have in dynasty formats. So just those 2 receivers alone can kind of carry him. Plus, the running backs. Leonard Fournette's obviously really good. Just in terms of he's going to get volume. He's going to get the touches. Jarvis Landry was an absolute stud last year. Outperformed Odell Beckham. Now, one thing I really don't like is the quarterback situation here. I think Baker Mayfield's fat and he sucks. I think he's got an attitude problem, and I don't think he's going to be a starter in a year or 2. Jared Goff, I think he's fine. I think he falls into like the Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G range of pocket passing dudes that are just okay. Now the bench here, Hippo actually commented on this in the league chat. Yeah, it's a yikes. There's not a lot of depth, but I mean, I like AJ Dillon. I like Will Fuller if he can stay healthy. Emmanuel Sanders is old as shit. But here's your light at the end of the tunnel that some teams just don't have, and you got 3 first-round picks that are within the first half of the draft, and then you got some early seconds. So I think you can turn that into something. It's just all up to how you draft, and with that amount of picks, you can't screw that one up too bad. So I think you're in a good spot to move forward, and I could see you 2021, 2022 really pushing for a ship, or is it a chip? I don't care. All right, so we're gonna go over to 7. Who did I have at 7? Or was I just 8? No, I was at 9. We're going to 8. 8. At 8, I have keep them guysing. The league clown, as you can see here. Just kidding. I love you. The only reason I put him, I feel like he's a little low because his team's honestly pretty good. Cooper Kupp was the number 4 receiver. Russell Wilson, was he the number 1 QB? One sec. Was he? Maybe? Number 3 QB. Okay. He was the number 3 QB. Obviously a stud. Eckler, I think, is going to be a huge part of that Chargers offense. Kenyon Drake's got some upside, but, we'll see what they can do. We'll see, how he does a full year there. I like Gallup with some upside now. Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs is definitely a good pair here. What is Hill here? He got hurt throughout the year, though, right? Or was this no? Did he get hurt week 1? But I mean, obviously, everyone knows Tyreek Hill. They know what he can do. They know. Yeah, they know what he can do. I do like having Carson Wentz and Russell Wilson, 2 good QBs. Now the third QB here, we've got like the redheaded stepchild Mitchell Trubisky. The bench, not horrible. I think was Tevin Coleman still on the squad? Yeah, I mean, I like Phillip Lindsay. I think he'll be fine, even with the new additions. You got CeeDee Lamb and Donovan Peoples-Jones coming up too. I think you're fine. Now the draft capital, not too great, but could be worse. So, I think you could definitely be ranked higher. So maybe 8 is a little bit low, but always open for discussion. And let's see what else we got. So number 7. Okay, so number 7 we got Sam Hammy. There's a lot of bad that I can really say with Sam Hammy, because honestly, the team is bad, except for he's got probably Patrick Mahomes, who's easily the best fantasy quarterback. You've got Saquon, who's going to be up there with Christian McCaffrey for the best running back. And then he's got Zeke, who's going to be top 5, in my opinion. So he's like extremely top heavy, but way too top heavy. I think DJ Moore is great. I think DJ Moore is probably going to do really well with Teddy Bridgewater. And other than that, I don't like Tariq Cohen. I don't like Golden Tate. I think Jarrett Cook's fine. I don't like Thielen. And Brady is 42. He'll be 43 when the season is going to. So, I think you should trade me all your players, the good ones at least, and we can move on. But other than that, I don't know what the game plan is other than getting carried by the 3 of the best players in the league. So hopefully that's enough. But next we're gonna actually have Jay Tate Ball, my best friend in the league, and love this guy. Just kidding, it's all love here. But we do have, Christian McCaffrey and Nick Chubb, who this is probably going to be the best running back duo in the league here. Definitely gives me a Chubb. But, also got some high upside with the receivers as well, because I think Juju's, bounces back with, Ben Roethlisberger, and you got DK Metcalf, who's just an athletic freak who should take a step forward with Russell Wilson. I think that offense is actually going to be pretty good next year. Hunter Henry's solid. Just looking at this, there's a bunch of no-name. I mean, you got Tua. That's good to have. No one gives a damn about Josh Dobbs. Josh Rosen's career is over. Alfred Morris blows. All these guys, I don't know about it. I don't even know about Kenny Stills. I think he's not going to be good. What do you have? Picks? No, not really. Maybe until 2021. But, I think it's a solid team. I think that running back crew can carry you, and hopefully you don't really suffer any injuries. But I think the team's solid. So what was that? Was that 6? Yeah, that was 6. So let's see. We're gonna move on to 5. So flipping over to number 5. I had to take some notes here, boys. Forgive me. So let's sit up here. Number 5, I actually have the captain of the league, the man himself, Crazy Carl. And the reason I have Crazy Carl up here at number 5, maybe it won't be this year, but maybe it's next year. I see a lot of stuff I like. He's got the 3 first-round picks this year. They may be later, but I've got faith in his drafting ability. He's got the second-rounders, and he's got 2 in 2021. He's got the picks. He's already got, good youth here, like Joe Mixon, and I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be an absolute stud. Robert Woods is aging, but I mean, he's good. I think Sterling Shepard can probably bounce back. Dak Prescott's underrated for sure. these types of guys right here, like this whole 4 players, who knows? I don't know too much about Deontay Johnson, but just judging by his stats, I mean, I'm sure Big Ben can turn him into something. Drew Lock is he'll throw the ball, he'll sling it. So we'll see how the Broncos' offense is, but just a lot going good in terms of youth, and I like all the picks, and I think that's moving the right direction. So next up, we've got the Power Mark, the man with the dog himself. And what I absolutely love about this team is he's a big wide receiver guy. He's got Devontae Adams, Kenny Golladay, and Julio. I mean, just straight up star power. Oh, and Tyler Lockett. Missed him. That's 4 receivers that just kick ass. And let's check the bench. Maybe Rashad Perriman does something with the Jets. Probably not. I mean, Robbie Anderson couldn't. So I think what's really hinging on this team is going to be, can David Johnson and can Melvin Gordon, return to form? And, running backs, maybe they usually don't, but I'd have a good feeling about David Johnson. Even though you have him on the block, you might trade him. I have a good feeling about him. I think Melvin's going to be fine in terms of he's going to get goal line work. And I'm sure he'll get, 60% of the carries over Phillip Lindsay. So one thing that does concern me, though, is the quarterbacks, which I saw. Wait, there's something that they gave me hope here. It's Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton's going to sign somewhere. I think Cam Newton's going to start. And if he does, then, that'll kind of justify the spot for me. Maybe it is a little bit aggressive, with Cam Newton not even being signed yet, but it's an off-season show. So good stuff here from Power Mark. Let's check. Yeah, he's got the 104. He's got the 112. He's got picks. And he's, regular picks in 2021. He's got picks too. So definitely a good spot to be in there. Next up, we're going to go B-Mill 93. And with B-Mill, I mean, you look at this roster and you just say, damn. You got Kamara, Henry, Robinson, Hopkins, Kittle, even the flex guys like Singletary, Carson. He's got Ertz in the super flex, and forgot why that. Oh, it's because he got Stafford on the IR. Stafford's going to be fine. Stafford's going to come back and air the ball out to Kenny Golladay. Stafford will be fine. Now, he really needs one of these guys, which I'm pretty sure Nick Foles is going to end up being the starter there. Just as like that bye week protection, injury protection. He's got some guys that, maybe could offer some value in the future. Now, I mean, I don't hate Chris Conley. Other than that, I mean, he was fine. Jamison Crowder was fine. He was fine. Peyton Barber, I don't know. He's probably going to be a non-factor. Peyton Barber's not great. But I think... let me go back. Let's check out the picks, too. Picks, he kind of gave up a good bit in the picks for 2020, but, still got his shit for 2021. And was there anything like... I don't see a lot of Devy guys, but, I mean, this is clearly it's a win-now team. With some still young talent, so I think very easily B-Mill can make a run. Now, up to the top 2. This was actually a hard choice for me because very good teams here. So number 2, I had to put Umar. Umar does have Lamar, who's probably going to be, top 3 fantasy QB just because he can run the shit out of the ball. But I know this is probably heresy to say. He just won the MVP. I don't exactly buy what Lamar Jackson is selling fully yet. I mean, look, he's got all the proof here that you need. He's an absolute stud. But he's going to have to rely on those legs again. And he's kind of a small guy. And, people say, oh, he had the plus 60% completion percentage. But obviously throwing the ball, I didn't see anything special. So... I'm probably going to eat my words there. Lamar, guaranteed he'll be a top 3 guy, but I'm still a little bit wary about him. Then running back-wise, Bell and Ingram, there's not a lot of hype around them. Mark Ingram's 30. Bell's probably, what, is he about to be 29? He's at least 28. And he didn't really do well with the Jets, like 3 yards per carry type of season. It was terrible. Didn't break 1,000 yards. He got the receptions though. I mean, out of pure volume, he'll be fine. I do like having Mike Evans with Tom Brady, and Calvin Ridley's obviously talented. His season's gonna kind of hinge on the return of AJ Green and the reemergence of Todd Gurley, and I think Todd Gurley might be fine in the Falcons system. But damn, I mean, you got some old shits on here, man, but I think they can provide some stability. And I mean, hell, look at, you got players on the bench and everything now. After, you know, the next 2 years, I don't know what you're gonna do, because no one's gonna want your old ass players. But you know, go for it now. I respect it. L. Conley though, easily taking the number one. Not easily. I just said it was a hard choice, but it's not hard to put him here, just in terms of if you look where he's set up for Dynasty. I mean, he's got Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson. I even like Justin Herbert. I mean, I think it's a pretty good team. Aaron Jones is young. Aaron Jones is obviously pretty damn good. Henderson, I don't like. Henderson, this is a guy, this is almost the reason I put him at number 2. I think Darrell Henderson is not good. I just don't think he's a good running back in the NFL. Obviously, he's a Class A athlete, but I just don't see it happening. Now, receiver-wise, I mean, you got depth and you've got talent. Michael Thomas is probably the best receiver in the league. Cortland Sutton is emerging as a top guy. And then I like Christian Kirk and Tyler Boyd too, just in the flex positions. Like, there's a lot of upside there. I don't necessarily like the depth as much as Umar here, but I kind of like what you're doing more with having, you know, the Devy guys, and you still got your picks. So that's kind of what puts you at the number 1 spot. So that's going to conclude the power rankings now. The mailbag section, I actually only had one question come in. Thank you so much for participating, everyone, with the one question. But UF Gator fan asks, did I inherit a shitty team? And my answer to that is going to be no. Because you got a pretty damn good starting lineup, and you got all the damn picks in the world. So maybe your depth isn't good right now, but fuck, it's about to be. I mean, the 103, the 105, and the 106, I mean, you're going to get guys that are good. Obviously, you're going to get talented players there for the future, so no need to worry about that. I think, you know, your $15 is safely invested into a future product, so no need to worry about that. God, it's a fun league, though. Probably the most favorite league I'm in right now. A good group of guys. I know I clowned on you, Theo, and you, Jay Tate Ball, but it's all love here. But it's a pretty good, opinionated group of guys. You guys, most of all, pretty active in the chat. We're just scrolling up here. I like that as well. Got some trades going on, man. You know, one thing I will say is, you know, we can clearly see the people going for a win now type approach, and people trying to rebuild with these prospects. And let me go up here, because there's a pretty good example of that with Umar making a trade. Yeah, right here. Damn. I mean, you got Mike Evans and Calvin Ridley, but I gotta say, Crazy Carl kind of came out with a lot here. That put Carl in a great position to be, you know, a dynasty, in my opinion, as long as he drafts well, which he probably will. He obviously does his homework. So that's kind of just what's going on with the league. I'd definitely like to have some of you guys on to talk about your teams and discuss the rankings, because I'm sure we're gonna have some problems with it, and everyone here's got their fair opinions. So hit me with it and tell me what you think, and I'm out.